Continued. I know that it seemed to both of us that we were completely one. We had no need to speak. Meaningful touch is the language of passion. Plan mutually enjoyable experiences. Being married does not mean that the fun has to end. Successful couples work diligently to associate their partners with positive experiences. It's easy to look down on someone once you marry them. Romantic dinners, trips to the theater, and vacations never stop being important to them. Passion plummets when the spouse begins to associate their partner primarily with dirty clothes thoughtlessly dropped on the floor, backed out orders, crying and nagging. Passion can only survive and thrive if the couples continue to date even after marriage. There is a beautiful quote here by George Bernard, and he says, when two people are under the influence of the most violent, most insane, most elusive, and most transient of passions, they are required to swear that they will remain in that excited, abnormal, and exhausting condition continuously until death do them part. Compliment your partner daily. The most important element of romantic passion for both husbands and wife is to feel special. Not only do they want to feel sexually attractive to their mate, but they want to know that they are appreciated. Compliment feels good both to the giver and the receiver. So, to paraphrase a James Taylor Swift, shower the person you love with compliments. When it comes to passion in marriage, the bottom line is that the intensity of early passion is only the beginning. When often illustrated in this way, a jet airliner from Seattle to New York uses 80% of its fuel in takeoff. Now, this is an illustration now that will help everybody to understand. A tremendous amount of energy is required to get the plane launched so it can reach a comfortable cruising altitude. The takeoff, however, is only the beginning. The cruise is the most important part of the journey, and it requires a different kind of energy, one with more sustain and even power. By cultivating a deep-rooted passion, you can avoid years of needless marital turbulence and enjoy soaring at altitude never imagined. Cultivate intimacy, a subheading. Ideally, husbands and wife are best friends as well as lovers, sharing dreams, interests, fears, and hopes. But according to Stacey Oliker, a sociologist and marriage expert, the gap between true intimacy and real life remains wide. Only a small minority of couples experience genuine intimacy. That is sad. How could this be? Oliker claims that marriage partners seek to fill this gap by being more intimate with close friends than they are with their mates. That's very sad. In Best Friends and Marriage, she states that many women, for example, seek out friends or relatives before confiding in their husbands, which is very, very true. Similarly, when men were asked to name the person they would most likely talk to about their future dreams and ambitions, close friends outnumbered wives. Does this mean married people shouldn't have close friends? Absolutely not. But it does mean we need to take special care to cultivate intimacy in our marriages. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Spend time together. One of the great illusions of our age is that love is self-sustaining. Love is not self-sustaining. It is not. Marriage expert David Mace says love must be fed and nurtured. Love must be fed and nurtured. First and foremost, it demands time. Studies indicate that marital happiness is highly correlated with the amount of time spent together. This is the reason why they say that the first year of marriage. In the Bible, they say that the first year of marriage, the man should stay at home and do what? Love his wife and take care of her. Love is not self-sustaining. No be me talk am. Studies indicate that the marital happiness is highly correlated with the amount of time spent together. We often encourage busy couples to schedule lunches together or no television night at home. Heart-to-heart talks don't happen on a go. And this is a quote by someone called Ovid. To be loved, be lovable. To be loved. Listen with a third ear. Studies on intimate sharing indicate that not really listening is the most fundamental error couples make. We have a tendency to interrupt our spouses, to be impatient while they are telling a story. I do this. Even I can relate to this. But intimacy is cultivated when we patiently listen, not only to the story, but to the feelings our spouses are conveying. If you learn to do that, intimacy will blossom in your marriage. And in brackets, we are going to discuss this in details in chapter 6. Stay tuned. Practice unconditional acceptance. The deepest kind of sharing can take place only when there is no fear of rejection. Some married people walk on eggshells around their spouses. Does this sound familiar? Fearing they might say or do something to upset them. One newly married woman told us that she was afraid to cook when her husband was home because no matter how she prepared the food, he would find something to criticize about the way she was doing it. And there is a quote here by Dan P. Herod, and he says, "Love is like a tennis match. You will never win consistently until you learn to serve well." Nothing drains a relationship of intimacy faster than anxiety. And nothing promotes intimacy more than knowing that you are unconditionally accepted, even though you are not perfect. Then there is another one here, another subheading titled Focus on Commonalities. Focus on commonalities. Intimacy grows when nurtured by shared emotions, experiences, and beliefs. Any couple who has been happily married for 50 years will tell you their differences. He is always restless. I like to relax. He loves sweets. I like salty foods. He is a Democrat. I am a Republican. But in spite of their differences, you will hear statements that reveal their commonalities. They usually begin with we laugh at the same things. We love traveling in New England. We support an inner city mission. The more couples focus on what they have in common, the deeper intimacy grows.